Howdy folks, Argsy here. Welcome back to Ray County. It is a beautiful day. All of that wet weather we've had earlier in the year is a distant memory, and our wheat is ready to go. Look at this, nice and golden. Not too many patches. There's a few little spots where we haven't had germination. We've had a little bit of wilting, but across the board it is looking good, and it is exciting that we're going to be in and harvesting our first crop that we've prepared, that we planted. We put all of that care and attention into to make it almost as good as it could have been. I think ploughing was about the only thing we didn't get done in here, but look at the soil data there. Our pH is perfect, our nitrogen is perfect, and our expected yield, well, for here is 80%, potentially 89%. So we're a little bit light, mainly on that ploughing, so a little bit of a letdown there with that, and because we sprayed the weeds, I think we get a little bit of a penalty for using a herbicide rather than weeding, but it was just what we had and what we were able to do. So it's a bit early to get the combine out in the field just yet. It's a little bit of moisture still floating around, but we will get that pulled out of the shed very soon. A few things to do beforehand. The grain cart hooked up onto a tractor. I've got to get the truck here in the yard. If you remember from last year, we did use the truck parked here with the auger underneath it, just so that we didn't have to try and line the auger on the grain cart up and throw grain from a high altitude down into this conveyor. So we'll sort that out as well, and then by the time we've got that all sorted, things should be pretty good to go. It is nice and warm. We have had some nice dry weather, and actually the maize, or the corn, sorry, it has really thrived with this warm weather we've had lately. Starting to look really good there, so looking forward to getting to that, but that can wait for just a little bit longer. I'm going to help with turning up very soon. I'll introduce you to them. Plan is that they'll probably run the combine for the first little bit. We'll manage the grain cart and the truck and the auger and all of those bits and pieces that are moving here in the yard. And I've also got the contractor who baled the silage, or the grass, back at the beginning of the year. They're going to come in and bale the straw for us as well. So I had a good chat to him, and he was happy to roll in and do that. So it's going to be a very busy day. We've got this field and the one over the back behind the trees there to do. So whether we get them both done in this episode, I'm not quite sure. It'd be nice to, but we'll just see how we go with getting that all sorted. Anyhow, enough talk. Let's go and get some things done. We'll go and get these things all set up, and we'll be into harvest before you know it. First things first, we're going to get the truck into position, I think. Slowly get this around now. It does need some diesel. It's not going to be running very far, but we might as well top it up while we've got the time and while we remember to do it now. So we'll just get that parked there. We'll leave it running for a little bit. It doesn't have to go too much further. We just need to go and get it over there next to the auger. So that should work out pretty well. And actually the beauty, just thinking about that field, is we'll be able to sneak around with the grain cart out the other end behind the shed and then back through there. We deliberately left the plough. Park the plough. Is it over here behind us? Did we park the plough? No, I think it's down a little bit further down by the disc, down that way. There it is, next to the silo. We left that space where we had the plough at least open, so we can run the grain cart in and out of that, get the combine in and out of that way. But let's get this truck fueled up and get it into position. Alright, there we are. We're actually out of diesel. We just used the last of it up, so we're going to have to get another delivery in sometime soon and make sure that we've got enough diesel to get us through summer. Obviously things are going to be starting to ramp up very soon with harvest and the combine. We have to make sure we've got that as much diesel as we need to be able to keep the combine moving. Right, that looks pretty good. Let's get this arm swung out and make sure we can get it into position. We'll be able to turn the truck off then and leave that, and then we'll gear up the grain cart. And there we go. I think that should work. I think we've got it far enough under that front hopper, so we'll just have to remember to only unload into this front hopper of the truck. Of course we can pull it forward if we need to, but there we go. Get this all shut down and go and pull out the Massey I think we're going to have on the grain cart this year round. Let's go and have a look. Now of course we're not left with any choice but to either have the Massey or the John Deere on the grain cart, because the Ford doesn't have a PTO. So there we go. It's actually hooked up. I didn't think it would have. We've got manual attach. There we go. It's hooked up with a pins in there at least. Get those hoses connected and get that PTO put on there as well, and that's the grain cart all good to go. It actually needs a bit of a clean. We should have pulled this out and given it a wash before today, but we might just go and give that a quick wash off now. Should give it enough time to dry out before we want to start putting some grain into it. Got a wee bit of time to go just yet. Alright, there we go. It's looking much better already. I know it's going to get dirty pretty quickly, but isn't it nice to start off with clean equipment? Just sort of makes things feel so much better when you know that they start off like this. You know what they're going to look like when they're finished, and you can appreciate all the hard work that they've done through the busy part of the season. So we'll leave that there. We'll go and park it up somewhere out of the way so it can dry out, and then we'll go and sort out the combine. Last piece of the puzzle to get sorted. Alright, well, we've just finished going through all the fluids in here, making sure that the oil's all topped up, everything's looking good, air filters are nice and clean. They're all brand new this season, so everything is looking pretty good to go. So I'll just turn the camera off, we'll get our way down the ladder here, and then I think it's time to pull this out. We're expecting our helper was turning up about 10:30, so they can't be too far away. I haven't seen them come in yet. So we'll go and get this sorted. We might even do the first lap ourselves before they get here, and then we'll put them to work. But it'd be nice to get this started. So let's jump down, let's go and hop in that cab, get things moving. Alright, here we go. Now, should go straight back out without any problems. Sure we're not going to hit the door. It is a bit of a tight fit, but there we go, we're through. Made it with 1 millimeters to spare either side. Right, ourselves turned out and around here. Not going to whack the header on the roller there. No, we're good. Alright, let's pull on in. Let's go and get this wheat started. First harvest for the new year. Exciting times. Alright, make sure everything is sorted now. Just spin ourselves around in here because we do, of course, need to get everything unfolded in the back. So we'll get that hopper opened up. There we go. That's all locked into position. Should be good to go now. Just check PTO, everything down there looks like it's all hooked up. Perfect. Alright, let's fire this up, see what happens. So far so good. Things are spinning. Just get that reel lowered down a little bit. Alright, let's have a look here. Drop that. Let's get in, harvest the first wheat on the farm. Under our control, that is. Ooh, just having a look up there, it's 92%. We hit this briefly there on the yield monitor. That is not too bad a start. I will take that. It's not quite what we were expecting. It's a little bit higher than we were expecting, which is good. Alright. Not going to go too far in here, but we will jump out and just double check the job that's doing behind us. We'll just get to the corner down here. It'll give us a chance to go and have a proper look. Alright, we'll just stop things there. I'm just having a look there. Our diesel is very low here in the combine, so I'm going to have to get on the blower to the co-op, see if we can get a delivery down here ASAP. But looking behind, everything looks pretty good, nice and clear. See where the wheels have crushed down that stubble just a little bit. We've got our straw swath here in the middle, so that's all doing its thing. That's ending up where it should be. Can't see any grain on the ground, so see everything in there is doing a mighty fine job. So I'm just going to go and sort out this fuel, because that could be a real issue for us. Something we didn't check very well. We did talk about it last time that we needed to fuel the combine up, but completely forgot about it. So I'm going to sort that out, and then we might do a lap, and hopefully our helping hand will be here for the day. Alright, well, we've got that sorted out, so we're back over here in the combine. Let's get that header lowered back down, and let's carry on. Start heading around the field. We've spent a little bit of time with the monitors, just making sure everything was set up for our steering assist, guidance steering, all those kind of things. So we should be able to press that button there. Start heading off in the right direction. There we go. Happy days. First crop going in. See what it looks like in the back there. Look at that. That is a very, very steady stream of wheat coming through there into the bin. So pretty happy with that. Now, the big question is, are we going to make it round without getting to a full combine? We will have to wait and see. Great view looking across though. This field and the other here on our left to all both get done. So we're going to chop into these and see how far we get. Looking good though, looking good so far. Right, let's get around this field or let's get as far as we can before this hopper fills up. Well, would you look at that, once we're in the field and we're almost 80% full. We've had some decent numbers on the yield monitor. It's been looking pretty good, getting into the 90s, a little bit higher than that, sometimes up over 6 tonnes a hectare, so very, very satisfied with what we're starting to see. But there we go, we're 80% full, so this will be a great time to stop once again. We'll just pull things up there, pick up just a touch, we'll put that auger out, header can turn off. We'll go and grab the grain cart and we'll get in here and get this unloaded. So here we go, first load of grain into the auger wagon for the season. This is going to get some tonnes put through it, that is for sure. Well, I certainly hope it is going to. That's the plan, that's what we're trying to achieve. So long may this continue through the rest of summer into autumn. Corn, soybeans and wheat all flowing through this equipment, so fingers crossed it's going to be a good one. Starting off well so far, at least. Like I said before, while we complained about the weather to start off with, all the moisture we had around has actually given us a very good boost, and hopefully going to lead to some very, very good crops. So we're going to go and get our worker up and going. We're going to introduce it to them. They've been loitering around in the shed for the last little bit, so let's go and get them started. Well, this is a slightly different perspective from the buddy seat, but we are up and running with our helper today. It's a huge thank you to Gilgamoth, who has come along to help out here with our first day of harvest. He got in touch with me quite some time ago actually, and he said, I would love to be there to help you run the combine when you're ready to get into harvesting. So I've taken him up on that offer, and he is here to help us out here with our wheat. So thank you very much, Gilgamoth. Appreciate the help, appreciate you making the trip down here to Ray County. So we're just going to ride around here for the first lap, just make sure he's comfortable in the combine. Don't have any reason to think not. He's so far so good. This header's doing a great job, and the crop is looking fantastic, as is the one next door. So it's great to be into it, and it's great to be getting things done. Just spin around, it's a bit hard to see from that angle, but it's going into the back. Right, we'll ride around here, get back to the grain cart, and then that is going to be us set up and good to go for the next wee while. Right, well there we go, that's once we're in the field. We've got Gilgamoth up and going. Everything is working out perfectly. I think he's going to do 3 headland passes just to give him enough space to turn at the ends. And then we're just going to go up and down the field. It's not filling up too much. And in fact, this field feels big when you first get into it, but actually once you get a couple of headland passes off, it's not feeling too big at all. So hopefully, not going to take us a huge amount of time to get this done, but hopefully the yields are good and it takes us a bit longer than we expected. So there we go. Now I've got the contractor coming in. He said to give him a call once we'd finished the first field, because he obviously didn't want to be waiting around for us in the second one, and he thought he'd probably catch up to the combine. That was his experience anyhow. So once we're finished in here, we'll give them a call and they'll pop down and make a start on getting this straw all baled up. Now you might expect the round balers that they brought last time, but that's their silage / wrapping balers. They've actually got some square balers, which I kind of like the idea of, because that might make the bales just a bit easier to handle. bit easier to load and everything like that. Now we're going to have to get in touch with the co-op once again and see if we can borrow their trailer and telehandler. Hopefully one day we might be a little bit more self-sufficient in some of these aspects, but hey, it's not uncommon to ask a friend a favour or use some of the local services to get things done on your farm when they've got equipment that you probably don't need all the time, right? Not uncommon at all. But there we go. Right, what we might do here, we might spin around, go and make sure everything's working with the auger, with the truck, the grain bin and everything like that. Let Gilgamoth carry on here and get the rest of these headlands done and get into the field proper, and get this grain cart unloaded. So we'll spin around here, head on up back to the yard. So here we are now. Auger is on the left, so we're going to have to come around this side behind the truck and make sure we don't turn anything on until we're over that front hopper, just so we don't get anything dumped in the back. Now I thought it did actually have the manual discharge mod installed, but we might just have to have a little bit of a play around with that and see if we do or not. But there we go, it's all starting to fill up, so I'll just quickly jump out of here, leave that running, go and jump into the auger, turn the engine on there. That should be good. I'll just double check that it's still all aligned over the hopper where it should be. Very close to. Frustrating things that slide and move, and they shouldn't, but there we go, that's that all done. Now come back around here, hop up into the truck. There we go, we've got a trigger to dump our wheat, and that should open up, should start flowing out and all going up into the bin. Let's have a look there. There we go. Right, perfect, that's all flowing, and it's looking overhead, looks like grain cart emptied out, so I'll leave the truck running, otherwise that's just going to chew through diesel unnecessarily. I'll keep dumping it, even though we've got it turned off. Would be nice if it did, but it doesn't look like it's going to. Alright. Looks like we need to leave this up and going. One of the things I do dislike about farm sim sometimes. Right, here we go, it's pretty much empty anyhow. Job done, things up and moving. I love it when a plan all comes together. Right, let's go and jump back up here into the grain cart, and we're just going to carry on getting this field harvested. Well, Gilgamoth just gave us a call and said fuel was starting to flash, which was a good reminder that we did need to top things up. So we're just over here running some diesel up here into the back of the combine. This will hopefully be enough to get us through the 2 wheat fields. Certainly chewed through it pretty quickly in what we're doing. There's probably another half hour or so left in the field. So once we've filled up here, we'll be able to go and carry on. But otherwise, everything's going pretty swimmingly. Yields are decent. The weather's beautiful. Machinery's all working. There's been no breakdowns, no issues, so it's just a case of boxing on. So yeah, really happy with how things are progressing so far. But there we go, that's the combine full, so we'll get the diesel nozzle out, put that away, and Gilgamoth can get back to it. And there we go, straight back into work, going fantastic, excellent. Right, let's carry on, we'll see you when the field's finished. Combine's looking pretty full there. It must be very close to being out of capacity, but we pretty much finished the field here. I think he'll turn around. Be a little sliver there still to do, and then a little bit there to tidy up in the corner. I think I might have to take care of that. Just the nature of courseplay means that it won't be done, but we're going to get into position here and we might as well unload on the move, running along this little section here just to make sure they don't get the last 1% or whatever it is that'll fill the combine up. It does look very close to full. Here we go, perfect. Once we get this loaded up, field is done, and we'll have to go and do a double check how much we've put in the silo and how much we got off this field. It'd be good to keep a tally. We did it last time, knew exactly what we got off each field, so it'd be good to be able to do it again. Right, are you going to pause somewhere here? I hope so. Here we go. Oh, stop just there. It should allow us to keep on unloading, then we'll get a notification to say the worker is finished. There we go, Gilgamoth finished the first field. Just like that. Right, I'm just going to spin around. We'll grab the combine, go and tidy it up this little bit in the corner, then we'll send him off to go and start in the next field, and then we'll need to give the contractor a call to come down and start doing the baling. They can come in and get the straw done, and we'll just keep on rolling around in the grain cart, keeping everything moving. Alright, that should be the last of the wheat from that first field, so go and just have a look at the bin, check its fill level, and see how much wheat we've put into it. Done. There we go. Still got a bit running up it. Alright, let's go and just have a look. See here, so just over 50,000 litres, 50,490 off that first field. So I imagine we're going to finish up with somewhere around maybe 90,000 litres of wheat. Would make about sense. I think that field's probably 4/5 of the size of the one we were just in. Yeah, so we'll go and figure that out. Looks like Gilgamoth's having a few issues getting into the field, getting things started. So we'll go down and make sure he can get where he needs to be. Right, let's carry on. One more to go. No, he got himself all sorted. He is off and moving. Perfect. Field number 2 opened up and underway. Like I said, quite a bit smaller. In fact, I think we're going to recalculate that. I reckon we're only going to get 30,000 litres off this. Maybe even less. Maybe enough to fill the grain cart up once. What's it, 22,000 litres or something like that? We'll see. Hopefully, it's better than I'm expecting. But there we go. It's up and underway. Now, the baler shouldn't be too far away from getting here, so we'll keep an eye out for them. And when we get a chance, go along and see what sort of job they're doing. And here is the baler, just in time. They are starting work here, getting the straw all baled up, so it'll be interesting to see how they go. Fingers crossed we're going to get some good big bales. They're making the biggest size possible that they can, so we don't have as many to haul when it comes time to pick them up and move them out of here, which won't be too long, because I want to be able to get in here and get this field ploughed. It does need ploughing. Nitrogen's pretty poor. pH is good though, so whether we put some more lime on it, I'm not too sure at this stage. We might decide to, but definitely want to get in here and get this ploughed. Now, we're not actually going to plant this till spring. This will be either soybeans or corn. We'll just figure out our crop rotation, probably put some soybeans into this one. But yeah, just need to figure out what order we're going to go around and do things. But yeah, up and underway there. Gilgamoth is starting his second pass, or second time around the field. So this is going to go very, very quickly indeed. So we're going to jump back up into the grain cart and just make sure he can keep moving. Can't see the lights on the combine yet, so he can't quite be 80% full. It's a good indicator to know how full they are when those lights come on and start flashing. So you know you need to be somewhere other than where you are at that time. Right, let's jump on in, and we'll just carry on, get this field done, and get all our wheat harvested. There's not too much left to do here in the field, but I realised that we might not have had quite enough space in the wagon to get everything out in one go. So I decided we'd come and fill up here, getting close to 26,000 litres, just ticking over that. Not sure exactly what we're going to end up with, 27,000. So I reckon we're going to go pretty close to that 30,000. Not the 40 odd guessed, but still a few more passes there. By the time we get down to the yard and get this emptied into the truck, then Gilgamoth should be pretty much finished in here with the harvesting, and we'll be able to get a final count on how much wheat we've got. Baler's going really well over here on the other side. You can start to see when we get out from behind the trees. A few bales starting to pop up in the field, which is good. Here they are. They're just starting some up and down rows, are they? Not sure what they're doing. Like they've stopped. We'll have to go and check in with them, see if they've got a problem. Maybe they've had a breakdown, run out of twine. I'm not sure. We'll go and figure out what that is in just a second. But yeah, made some good progress around here, and we've got a fair few bales that we're going to have to pick up. A lot more than I was expecting. I must admit, I thought doing the bigger size we might not have had too many to worry about, but there we go, bonus. They are just going to go and get sold, so hopefully we can make a bit of money off them. Right, let's get this unloaded into here, and we are going to have to move that auger. It's creaked every time we've been here. It's moved, so once we get it back into position, it's fine. We're going to figure out what's going on with the baler, and we'll get this auger sorted out. Alright, there we go, that's that all sorted out. So grain cart empty, truck will be empty, and auger will be empty, but let's go and leave that there. We'll go and have a chat to the contractor, see what their issue is out this way. Alright, nothing serious. They just had a shear bolt broken, so they were just getting that replaced and back up and going. So, phew, I thought we might have been in for something. But no, everything's still running smoothly. Right, go and grab the grain cart. We will get on down, get the combine emptied out. That will be our last load. And then we'll be able to do a final tally on how much wheat we've ended up with. Alright, and there we go with that, and we are all done the wheat. See how much there is in here. More than 3,000 litres. Take us well past that 30,000 total. Easy. We get up to 32, 33,000. Which would give us a what? We were on 50,000, so about 85, 84, 85,000. We'll go and find out anyhow, but there's 4,700 litres, so we'll head back up and get this all dumped out. We'll get Gilgamoth, we'll get him to bring the combine back up to the yard, and we'll see how much we've got. Alright, let's have a look here. We should be able to go and unload this. Hopefully everything's still aligned, and it's automatically going to start going up into the auger. No. Something not quite where it's meant to be. Go and adjust it once again. Alright, and there we go. Last lot of wheat heading up in here into the silo. Let's just wait and see. We're going to get the truck turned off. Let's go and have a look at exactly what we've got in the bin. 82,500 litres. Alright, that's not too bad. We'll take that. Not quite as much as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, happy days. First crop for this season in storage. We'll have to have a little bit of a look-see and kind of do a few quick calculations on what that's going to earn us. But yeah, there we go. We've got Gilgamoth that's brought the combine back up. He's just parked it out here in the field. And we've got the baler, which is down in the bottom end of the field now, carrying on and getting some straw made. So things are looking good. But I think that, seeing we've finished what we've got to do, it's going to be a perfect time to wrap up this episode. As always, if you want to come along and give me a hand, please drop a comment down below. It's going to get busy. We've still got a whole lot of corn and a whole lot of soybeans to harvest. We've got some bales here to load. We get in and get these couple of fields ploughed and ready for planting next season. So yeah, plenty of work here. So if you want to come and give us a hand, drop me a comment, let me know, and we'll see if we can make you part of the series. But for now, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we will catch you in the next one.